مرحبا بكم مرة أخرى. Welcome. You have learned nouns, professions. I hope you have memorized them as well. معلم, معلمة, طبيب, طبيبة, طالب, طالبة, محاسب, محاسبة, and so on. Now I'm going to put on the board for you some other nouns like items such as a computer. A computer in Arabic is ha, that's extension, su, another extension with waw, ha su bun, ha su bun. That's mean a computer. Ha su bun, a computer. Right, a computer, that's a indefinite, meaning is not a specific computer. A computer. And a in English is an indefinite article. But in Arabic, however, it is implied. It's not written separately. It's embedded within the noun itself. Where is it? So a computer, this un ending is giving us an indication that it is indefinite. Hasubun, a computer. Okay, let me give you another noun. Darajatun, for instance. Darajatun. 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 You remember when we were doing the muallimun, muallimatun. You can tell immediately by seeing this ta marbuta, atun. That is feminine noun in Arabic, and the sign is ta marbuta. So hasubun is classified in Arabic as a masculine word, and darajatun is classified in Arabic as feminine word because you see this ta marbuta. So a bike, a computer. Good so far. Let me give you an adjective word. What's an adjective? Adjectives is description word. A word that describing something. That's a adjective in English. So let's give you jadidun. 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 Because come on, I need to practice your reading with you. Jadidun. Literally speaking, because you have this un at the end, that would mean a new. Literally speaking, a new. Another adjective, for instance, let's give you khafifun. 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 That's mean light, as in weight. Light. Lightweight. So khafifun, right? That's a male version of new, and that's a male version of light in terms of weight. Now, come on, try for me. If I ask you to convert this version to a female version of new, what would you say? Come on, atun at the end, so that will be jadi, jadi. Da, transfer this on to the ta marbuta, jadidatun, and khafifatun, khafifatun, light in weight, jadidatun, khafifatun, right, because we have ta marbuta here and ta marbuta. Hang on a second. Why am I writing the ta marbuta this way, here, and here this way? Can you remember last series? This dal is a naughty letter which cannot be extended to join the next letter. Therefore, we are writing the ta marbuta severed from the dal. But whereas here, letter fa is normal, friendly letter, can be extended to join ta marbuta. Hence you have two versions of ta marbuta. the separate one if it has one of the naughty letter before it, and the joined one if the letter before it is a friendly letter. So we have jadidun, jadidatun, khafifun, khafifatun. The literal meaning of jadidun, it is a new, and khafifun, literal meaning would be a light in terms of weight. Jadidun, jadidatun, khafifun, khafifatun. Right, okay, let's work with this now. Of course, you can have indefinite phrase. Indefinite phrase, let's look at that. So if I say hasubun and then put jadidun here. Jadidun. Jadidun. Hasubun jadidun. The literal meaning of that is what? Is a computer, a new. That's the literal meaning, a computer, a new. But in English, we don't say a computer, a new. It is a new computer. A new computer. So when you want to describe an object or a noun, in Arabic, you start with the object or noun that you wish to describe first. Then you describe it. It's opposite English. English starts with the description. You will say a new and then computer. Whereas in Arabic, you start with the noun and then you describe it. So hasubun jadidun. A new computer. A computer, a new computer. Let's see what else is going on here. So your first rule is start with a noun, then describe it. Secondly, look at the hasubun. That's the indefinite noun. It's not specific. That's what indefinite means. So hasubun is indefinite. Jadidun is also indefinite, which means your items you are describing and its description, they must be the same in terms of gender, masculine, in terms of indefinite or definite. Here is indefinite, and the description adjective also must be indefinite. So write it down please for me. Now, what about darajatun? I want to say a new bike. What do you do? Here you have to choose the feminine version of new to match the noun that you are describing. So darajatun, you choose this one, jadidatun. Jadidatun. Here we are. That is the pattern. If you know that template and you learn more vocabulary, you'll be able to say my new friend, my new neighbor, my new teacher, my new, and so on. So the template is important. We are using this as your template. Then you can apply it globally later on. Right, darajatun, jadidatun. Now, khafifun, you want to say a light computer, you will say hasubun, khafifun. A light bike, darajatun, khafifatun. That is the theme you need to really understand. You need to understand as a template and the pattern. A noun first, then describe it, then make sure there is an agreement between the noun you're describing and the adjectives. Make sure the gender is the same for both of them. So, right, let's move on now. Don't worry, I will put a chart in front of you later on to see the whole thing in order. For now, let's just move on a little bit to extend that understanding of how Arabic is organized. Now, we've done the indefinite. What about if you want to define a noun? We know that in English, you define a noun in one of two ways. One is to use article the. Now, The article the in Arabic is al, as I explained in my last series. Al, that is a the in Arabic, and you attach it to the noun at the beginning. So if you want to say the computer, you say al first as the, and hasub. Now, al hasub. Remember we say hasubun earlier on, with ending in un. Hasubun. Here, if I put hasubun here, it will be completely wrong if I put hasubun here. Why? Because I have al, which means the, and I have the sign of indefinite at the end. You cannot say the a computer combined. You cannot say that. Either is a computer, hasubun, or the computer. How do we deal with this? The way it's dealt with in Arabic is to reduce this un into a single u, one dhamma. So al-hasubu, the computer. So remember, al-hasubu. Okay. What about if I put jadidun here? Jadidun. Jadidun. Al-hasubu jadidun. Think of the literal meaning of what you are looking at in front of you, and that will help you a lot. What's the literal meaning of this? The literal meaning is the computer, and the literal meaning of jadidun is a new. So what you are looking at, literally speaking, is the computer a new. Right. You, in the target language, which is the English here, you don't say the computer a new. What is the equivalent of it being in English? Al-hasubu jadidun. The computer is new. There is no is in Arabic that you can see, but it's implied and embedded. How do we do that? Once you have something which is definite, a definite noun, for instance, and followed by an adjective which is not defined, automatically there's a is understood and is hiding there. Al-hasubu jadidun is hiding because we drop the L. We say the computer a new. The computer is new. You cannot say it, but it's implied and embedded. And that's how you can really manipulate the usage of noun and adjective to have a complete sentence in Arabic without actually saying the is. Al-hasubu jadidun. Okay. Let's say I want to say the bike is new. Guess for me. The bike, of course, is darajatun. That's me, a bike. Darajatun, a bike. To say the bike, you say ad-daraja. Ad-darajatu. Ad-darajatu. Remember, here you don't say L because of shadda. And last series, when we were learning how to read Arabic script, I explained that once you have the L followed by a letter carrying shadda, you suppress the pronunciation of lam. So we can ad-darajatu. Ad-darajatu. Again, we drop the on from ta marbuta. Ad-darajatu. Now, I want to say the bike is new. I have to choose the feminine form of new and also make it indefinite. Jadidatun. Ad-darajatu, the bike. Now, because I've dropped the L here, there is a is which is embedded and is implied. Jadidatun. Note that I'm still maintaining the gender. So here al-hasubu, that's a male, masculine. Jadidun is masculine. Ad-darrajatu is female, feminine. Jadidatun is also feminine. So the bike is new, the computer is new. If you want to say light, you say al-hasubu khafifun. Ad-darrajatu jadidatun. The bike is new. Okay. So let's have a look at, let's take it slightly further. And to do that, let's make both the noun and the adjective defined and see what do we get. Right. So I start with al-hasub again. Al-hasubu. Al-hasubu. Al-jadidu. Okay. Both the noun is defined. Al-jadidu is also defined. Again, tell me the literal meaning of what you are saying in front of you. The literal meaning of al-hasubu al-jadidu. Al-hasubu al-jadidu. Al-hasubu al-jadidu. The literal meaning is the computer, that's al. Here we have al as well. The literal meaning is the new. Al-hasubu, the computer, the new. In English, what do you say? You don't say the computer, the new. You say the new computer. So this is incomplete phrase, incomplete sentence. The computer, the new computer. You need to give me the news. What about it? Is it expensive? Is it excellent? Is it light? Is it new? Is whatever? You have to complete it. In English, it's called subject and predicate. So you need to complete the sentence by giving me the news about the noun. Now let's extend this a little bit. We've done the al-hasubul jadidu. Let's imagine you want to complete this sentence now. To say, for instance, the new computer is light. So we'll say al-hasubu al-hasubu al-jadidu. Then we drop the al, we say khafifun. Khafifun. So what's happening here? Al-hasubu al-jadidu, the new computer, khafifun. We drop the al. By dropping the al, the is now implied. Khafifun is light, because the literal meaning is the new computer a light, but in English is light, so the is implied. Al-hasubul jadidu khafifun. Now let's do the same thing for darraja, which is bike. We want to say the new bike is light in weight. So ad-darrajatu, ad-darrajatu, ad-darrajatul jadidatu khafifatun. Khafifatun. Now we maintain the gender throughout. Ad-darrajatu, that's feminine and is defined. Al-jadidatu is feminine and is defined. Because we want to say is, we drop the L and we revert to indefinite. So khafifatun is light. But through all the way, we maintain the gender. Ad-darrajatu, that's feminine. Al-jadidatu, that's feminine. Khafifatun, that's feminine. For the hasub, the computer, male, al-hasubu, al-jadidu, khafifun. Male, male, male. Masculine, masculine, masculine. So that's the principle. If you want to achieve A's or later on R, you drop the L and then you put your or predicate, or the adjective, which is, in English you say subject and predicate. You give me the object or noun, and then you give me the news about it. That's the completion of subject and predicate. الحاسوب الجديد خفيف. الدراجة الجديدة خفيفة. So you can make this as long as you like. You can say الدراجة الجديدة الخفيفة and then ممتازة. So if you know many adjectives, they can say, oh, the new light bike is ممتازة, is excellent, ممتازة, and so on. That will come. So what I'm going to do now is to put in front of you a chart which will really show you the progression of what we have done so far. Here we are. Marhaban. You have the display now of the steps that you have learned. Hasubun, a computer, that's indefinite now. Darajatun, a bike, that's a feminine. I have tun at the end. Now, by the way, in Arabic, sometimes you hear people say daraja, without pronouncing the ta marbuta. It is in the pronunciation when you stop. An Arab will stop on a sukun, daraja. But when you hear a at the end, you can assume there's a ta marbuta there which is not been pronounced. Otherwise, you hear sukun. For instance, they will say hasub, rather than hasubun. But hasub. But if it is ta marbuta, you hear daraja, ja, and jadid, like a sukun, jadida. But as a learner, and in my class, I'm afraid, I want you to pronounce all the endings, because a lot is riding on this one. So you know how we're manipulating the ending later on. So for now, and in my class, I want to hear hasubun, darajatun, jadidun, jadidatun. New, that's the feminine version. Khafifun, light as in weight, that's the male. Khafifatun, light as in weight, that's feminine version. Hasubun, a computer, right. Hasubun jadidun, a new computer. Al-hasubu, that's al here, that's your article there. As a al, you can see that sukun because the ha after the al is your moon letters, which means that letter is not carrying shadda. So you hear the lam, al-hasubu. The computer, al-hasubu jadidun. We drop the al before the adjective here. That's where the is implied and is hiding. The computer is new. In English you can say is there, but here it is implied because we did not have the al there. Al-hasubu jadidun, the computer, the new, that's the literal meaning. The new computer is what? You need to complete it. Is what? That's your completion for you here. Al-hasubul jadidu khafifun, the new computer is light. We're achieving A's by dropping the L. We make this khafifun indefinite. So the computer, the new computer is light. So your literal meaning is the computer, the new, a light. So the new computer is light. Right, one more time. Hasubun, it is equivalent of darajatun here. So this is feminine. Hasubun, a computer, a bike. darajatun, a bike. Darajatun jadidatun, equivalent to hasubun jadidun. That's a male, a new computer. The female version is darajatun jadidatun, a new bike. Then you have al-hasubu, the computer, ad-darajatu. Here you have shadda after the L. That's a shamsiyya. That's a sun letter, as we learned that in the previous series. That's why, because of this shadda, we suppress the sound of lam. We say ad-darajatu, because there's a sukun embedded in shadda. That's why, and you can revise that in your the previous series. So ad-darajatu jadidatun, the bike is new. We drop the al to achieve is. Ad-darajatu jadidatun. Al-hasubul jadidu, the new computer is, equivalent is ad-darajatul jadidatu, the new bike is. We have to complete that phrase, that sentence, by saying in the hasub, al-hasubul jadidu khafifun, the new computer is light. And here, ad-darajatul jadidatu khafifatun, the new bike is light. That is the structure that you need to really try hard to listen to it, watch it over and over again to get the principle. Trust me, if you understand this structure as it is, it covers a lot of how to speak and write Arabic, because all then you need to learn is to learn different vocabulary, like a friend, like a neighbor, like a teacher, like the world, like the city, and so on. And then you use the same structure. Here you have additional adjective, for instance, sari'un, fast. Sari'atun, that's the feminine version, fast as well. Harun, hot. Haratun, hot, feminine. For instance, if you want to say, oh, the tea or the coffee is hot, you need to put article the with T. You say ashai, for instance. Ashai, because ashai is masculine, you say harun, you use male. Is, you drop the, and if you say al-qahwatu, the coffee, al-qahwatu haratun, is hot. So you see how you can manipulate by knowing more vocabulary. So we have baridun, baridatun, that means cold. If you know how to say the weather, you can say al-jawu or at-taqsu baridun, is the weather is cold. See how once you understand the structure, just learn more words. You can say al-ma'u, al-ma', for instance, water, baridun, is cold. That's what I mean by understanding this structure that I've broken it down for you, and I've assembled it again for you to look at the inside it, the anatomy of the Arabic language. That's what you need to understand. Together we need to act as a doctor and like a surgeon, and mechanic. We dismantle the items, we reassemble them, and obviously we're not going to dismantle human being. So we look inside the anatomy of the Arabic, and we start organizing it, we understand it. So please, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I have to, because this structure I put in front of you, it is the basis on which you can really have confidence how to express yourself and how to write a correct sentence in Arabic. I think I'll leave you with this to digest a huge amount of things to do, and good luck with that, and I shall be back to continue this the rules and regulation. So, well done so far, and see you shortly.